My peoples! Good morning and happy Wednesday! It is Papa Ziti here and... yeah! You guys liked the news report yesterday I did, so I'm going to do another one today, and I decided to look a little bit more Anchorman-ish. I have many leather-bound books. Thought I'd gussy it up a little bit, put on a shirt and tie. So let's get into it. We're going to stick with Twitter, and this one is a win for the internet. So what happened? 2 days ago, a journalist by the name of Guy Adams, who is an LA-based editor for the magazine, the newspaper The Independent, which is a UK-based publication, had his Twitter account suspended. Now you might think, wow, this is not so much of a big deal, but let's get into how and why this happened. Guy Adams, has been very, very vocal and critical of NBC. That is a network here in the United States that's been covering the Olympics for everybody here stateside. Has been very critical of their taped delayed coverage that they show in prime time. And on that note, I'm going to do a little opinion piece real quick. NBC has no control over time zones, and if they were to show everything live and try to broadcast it in prime time, they couldn't, because it's a 5-hour difference here from the East Coast over to UK. So a lot of stuff would start at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's nothing going on overnight in London as far as the games go. So it's kind of a necessary evil, as it were, that NBC does tape a lot of its stuff, all of its stuff that it's been showing in prime time, and that includes the opening ceremonies. So NBC's unwillingness and I guess ineptitude in being able to change the laws of space and time, I guess, are costing them a little bit on this. But back to the story. So this guy's been very critical of their tape delayed coverage and trying to sell it, I guess, as live coverage. I think that's one of the main things that he's been beefing about. But over the weekend, he tweeted out NBC's president's business email, basically, his NBC email account. And Twitter said that was a violation of their terms of service as far as you can't tweet out personal information, and they suspended his account. Let's see. That business email could be found by anybody that has access to Google. So it is not private, one. And two, NBC Universal and Twitter have kind of teamed up to bring you Olympic coverage from a social media standpoint. So when somebody is being critical about NBC and doing it on Twitter, do you think the people at NBC gave Twitter a call and said, hey partner, hey bed buddy, remember we were all chummy? This guy's being a little thorn in our side, can you do something about it? And so they manufactured this breaking of terms of service by this guy Adams posting or tweeting the president of NBC's business email. Again, which can be found by anybody who has access to Google. That's bullshit. And the internet reacted as they should have in this. And basically this guy got his account back today, or excuse me, yesterday. So all is right in the world, but there are some, lingering big business collusion and trying to stomp out a, dissenting voice, as it were, a critic, and that is just inherently wrong. It's not a First Amendment thing because neither one of these, organizations, Twitter or NBC Universal, is the government. The First Amendment only applies to when government is trying to stop free speech. So you can't really say First Amendment free speech because it's not the government involved. But kind of a dick move on NBC and Twitter's part. They rectified, or Twitter rectified the situation, gave the guy's account back. Now the question is, why did they do it in the first place? Well, who knows? No one at Twitter or at NBC Universal is going to come forward and say, well, this is why we did it. So, but all is right. He got his Twitter account back. He's able to continue voice his criticism over the whole time-space continuum thing, and the fact that London's 5 hours ahead of us, and if you want to watch Olympics in prime time here in the States, it's going to be tape delayed. Guys, this is Papa Ziti saying thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Looking good.